Welcome back, everybody, to the SlotsFan podcast. On this show, we talk to slots content creators about their channels, their biggest wins, and their casino tips for having more fun, more safely in the casino. And today we've got an awesome guest. It's Jimmy, the great slot saver. Thank you so much for joining us, Jimmy. Really appreciate having you on the show.
Hey, guys, no problem. Thank you for having me.
We were chatting a bit before the show, and I often start by asking people how they got into starting their own slots channel. And I saw that your channel started posting videos 15 years ago or something like that, quite a while ago.
Very briefly.
Very briefly, you mentioned that your sidekick if anyone who's seen your channel will know, Nana, was actually the reason that you started. And so that piqued my curiosity. I was hoping to kick things off with you giving us that story about how did Nana help you get started
All right,
in the slots YouTube world?
We got to go back a ways before Nana because of the 15-year-old videos, which if I would have stuck with it, I would have been one of the big dogs right now, maybe, who knows? But yeah, Nana and I, we go to the casino. That's the one thing she likes to do. She works very hard. She and I both usually work 365 days a year. And so when we do get off, that's the one thing that we do. But back in the day, you couldn't record. So I would record a bonus here or there. I'd pop it up just for my own benefit. So I'd have a copy of it to look back on if we had any good wins. And I never kept track of it because you couldn't record. So over the years, though, I did try twice using spyglasses. I went to Vegas once, probably about 10 years ago with spyglasses. I couldn't tell if the thing were recording or not. It was such a hassle, I just gave up. But 2 years ago, I tried again with a much, much better pair of spyglasses, had Bluetooth, all kinds of stuff. They were sunglasses, though, so I felt a little odd going into the casino with them, and I didn't know how it was going to record, but I went in, sat down on my first machine, and a security guard's just standing right at the end of the machine, just staring at me. So I'm just messing with my phone, pretending like I'm doing something, trying not to play until they walk away. They didn't, so I left. But then when I did record, I'd run to the bathroom, try to look at the footage, see what it looked like, and it still didn't seem like it was going great. There was no Wi-Fi. I couldn't download the footage. I couldn't see what was happening. And so that was like 5-6 hours. I was a stressed out mess. And so I just decided I'm going to leave the casino. I've been here too long. I didn't lose anything, luckily. But I was like, I'm leaving anyway. Let me just go ask if they allow recording. And so far up to this point, everyone has told me no. But I went and asked, and they're like, oh, yeah, sure, you can record. Just no streaming, no tripods or anything. And I'm like, I just spent 5 or 6 hours messing with those spyglasses. But so then I stayed and I recorded a few videos, and that's where the channel officially started 2 years ago. And so this comes into Nana. So as we're getting older and we're pretty poor people, me and Nana both, but so we can't afford to go to casinos a lot, and the economy this year especially, but even last year it's been rough. So in order for me to take Nana with me, I was like, let me start a channel. She can press the button. She can play without spending any money. All she has to do is take a day off of work. And then hopefully I can earn some revenue on YouTube to pay for those trips. So that was the whole point in starting again and getting it going, is so that hopefully she can go, she can have some fun that we normally might not be able to afford, and YouTube will pay the bill. So
that's really cool. I'm picturing you walking or being in a casino with like really comically large spyglasses or something.
Yeah, I did return those. But I'm glad I found a nice. I live in a state with no casino, so I found a good handful of places anywhere from 3 to 8 hours away, 10 hours away, that allow me to record. And I go once a month. I just record a month's worth of footage. And
that's cool. I mean, it sounds like you've been into slots for a long time, dating back 15 years, and I presumably even longer than that. During the time, when you first put up those very first videos all those years ago, and when you kind of officially got started a couple of years ago, were you still playing slots, and were you kind of following the growth of the slots content space on YouTube and in other places online?
yeah, as long as I've been able to afford it. Well, the day I turned 21, I was at a casino because we actually lived near Biloxi at the time, and so I went to the casino, I think, on my birthday. And back then, it was right before video slots came out, so it was all just the regular reeled machines. Sometimes they had 4 or 5 reels. But then the video slots came out, and that's when I really, really liked playing the slots. So since then, we've been playing. I have probably been watching content creators on slots for maybe 4 or 5 years now. I started out mainly watching Vegas Low Roller. I watch SD Guy, Ruby Slots some, but But before that, no, I would watch mainly just to see what was new, so I'd know what I wanted to put my money in, and that's the whole reason, kind of, other than Nana, that I run a channel, is so that people can see whether a machine's super volatile, whether it's fun, whether it has fun bonuses before they're spending their own money.
Yeah, it's pretty valuable to be able to get a feel for the machine for free and get someone's even expert insights, someone like you that's spent a lot of time playing different machines. I also noticed on your channel, like you do live streams from home, and maybe that's the machine in your background right now that you play on.
Yes, so this is a WMS BB2 machine, but I have gotten CPU upgrades to do BB1 and the Blade 3 games, and so we have about 35 games that we swap out. I used to do a live stream every single day. I just stopped doing that this month. Now I do it once or twice a week. It was just taking so much time, and I work every day also. And so, but this is the newest game, the Willy Wonka, which
It's really
is
cool.
really, really expensive piece of software. But it's a really fun game. So
Yeah, I checked out some of your videos with that game. It looks really fun and like lots of cool features.
yeah, this machine here, that's what helped me get monetized. It was hard getting enough subscribers in the beginning, but the live streams with the vertical stream, it just helped push me above that level.
Hey, do you mind if I ask what you do for a living outside of your slots?
I have a lot of jobs. So one of them is, or a group of them is brand ambassadors, where I just basically pass out samples at grocery stores or liquor sampling, things like that. But then the other one, my nighttime jobs, are I deal casino games for party events. So I deal blackjack,
Oh, cool.
roulette, whenever people have a party and they just want a casino theme.
That's fun. That's got to be a fun atmosphere.
Yeah.
You said the collection of casinos that you have access to are 3 to 8 hours away, and you go once a month, and presumably you take Nana with you. So it sounds like a fun trip for both of you. I'm curious, maybe rewinding a little bit, what was it about slots? Was it a cultural thing, or what brought you to be in a casino on your 21st birthday and sort of adopt this as a lifelong passion? It sounds like.
I think it was Nana. She was a little bit of a gambler before I turned 21, and she used to play bingo and take me to bingo. And
Okay.
although I found that incredibly boring back in the day, it was exciting when you won. And I think I won my first time, so we would go regularly. I wouldn't always go, but then one of her friends took her to the casino. They would meet at the casino all the time. Back then, you could go with a roll of quarters and play all night, and so it wasn't that expensive. But playing the nickel sizzling 7 slots, that was her game back then. So then when I turned 21, I got to join for the ride, see what it was all about. And we're pretty responsible because we don't have a lot of money. So normally, like when I go on casino trips now, my budget is normally what like the free hotel room or the free food would cost. And that way, even if you lose it all, you're still spending what you would on any other vacation, paying for a hotel. So
That's a good deal, and doing it strategically probably gets you some comps that you can use, like you said, to subsidize the cost of the trips. What is it about the experience that you like? It sounds like you were exposed to it maybe through Nana and other ways, but what was it that really hooked you in to slots in particular and kept your attention all these years?
I think it's just gambling in general. It gives you that little bit of a high feeling, that little bit of a what if. But also, like, I find video slots really fun, especially when they used to, back in the day, have a lot of picking bonuses. That was always fun. All the different mechanics. I love just playing new slots. Like, Nana hates it. When we go into a casino, I'm like, I got to look around and see every new slot first before we sit down. She's more of the, I want to sit on my favorite machine and sit there for 17 hours kind of a person. But I was like, I got to play the new stuff first, so I see what our new favorites are going to be. And I think that's what it is. It's just a way to get away from work, to relax a little bit. And I will say, the slots without real money, it's not quite as fun. Same thing with playing online. To me, it's just, you got to be in that casino environment and feel that vibe, and it's just the whole experience.
That's really cool. I'm curious if you had a list of Jimmy's favorite slot games and Nana's favorite games. What games would you see on both sides of the list?
I do. You'll definitely see on both sides of the list. So Nana's favorite of all time was the original Wizard of Oz, which we do have for the machine behind me. And then she also, and me as well, we love the CSI machine, which you can't find anymore. The original Michael Jackson machine was amazing. Like King of the Nile was a really fun game. You can still find that one. So out of the older games, those are probably our favorites. Me, out of some of my current new games, we love the Mo Mummy. I love the Lucky Looters. The Huff and Puff High Rise is fun. Dragon Trio. But yeah, there's just so many new games. The problem is they don't last at the casino that long, so you got to find a new favorite after a while.
Yeah, it's cool how much how much thought and work goes into creating new games and all this, from the art to everything that goes into it. I know you're, like you mentioned, you're a low roller channel, and I think that's so relatable. Most people, myself included, are betting that kind of like up to $1 spin kind of thing. From that perspective, what do you think makes a good game? Are there specific features that lend themselves well to people who are betting lower like that?
Well, and you don't see it a ton anymore, but I left out one game that is also one of my favorites now is Blueberry's Timberjack Going Wilder. Awesome game. And that kind of leads me into this question is Blueberry is really good about making completely new mechanics and not using the same old mechanics that everyone else is using. And like they've done it, which my casinos haven't gotten it yet, but I was just at their showroom in Vegas, and they let me play some of the games. And
Cool.
their honey bomb machine, like completely new mechanic. And so that's the kind of thing I like, because you go into playing it, and I tried not to watch the videos first on some of those because I was like, I want to just be excited when something happens. And so I love the new mechanics. That definitely, as a low roller, helps me out. But the problem is a lot of machines, especially by like Konami or Aristocrat, they are so volatile now. All the money is in those bonuses that you may or may not ever even see. And so as a low roller, I just want to be able to see a bonus on my budget. And that's part of the problem nowadays is a lot of companies, it's getting harder and harder to even get the bonuses.
Is there like a list, or like if you wanted to play low volatility games, do you kind of just have to figure it out by playing and watching videos and that kind of thing to identify it? I know they don't really post, like, maybe there's like a volatility rating sometimes,
Well,
but it's a little out of context usually.
one of the casinos I go to, which has YouTuber events, Kushada behind me, that's the poster from one of my events they had last year for me. But they on their website, they actually do list the volatility for the machines, but I haven't found that it's necessarily accurate for the when I've tried playing the machines. And that's always the thing you're going to run into. And I think Big Slaughter said this last podcast you had with him, that the same game at different casinos can be set on a different return of player percentage. So even if it's a game that's a little bit better on volatility, it still could be a bad volatility depending on where you're playing it. And so, but I do think a lot of there are definitely games that have better pay lines, so that while you're waiting for the bonus, you at least can cycle through your money a few times and get there a little easier. And so, I haven't found where, other than just watching YouTube, that's really how you find out. You just see people playing, and I'm one of the channels that plays from start to finish. I don't just show bonuses or wins, and so I can look and see, hey, these people are getting a lot of line hits. It's keeping them going, and those are the kind of machines that I would rather spend my time playing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. When you mentioned that you were introduced to slots and gambling by Nana, have you ever heard any stories from like longer ago about gambling? Like, is it something that Nana's been doing for a long time? Or, I'm curious what the slot scene was like way before even social media existed or any of this stuff.
I feel like she started only going to the casino shortly before I turned 21. So
okay.
yeah, I don't have much insight into how it was way back so far then, but it was very different back then, because like I said, they didn't even have video slots back when I started, and so you definitely heard the familiar ding 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 of those older machines going on in the casino, and the handle pulls and the nickels coming out of the machines or quarters. But so yeah, it's quite a different experience now. But
I'm just picturing historical figures throughout history playing slots back in the day now with Nana.
Yeah, there you go.
You mentioned before the show that you actually hit your biggest win, because I often ask people about their big win stories, that you hit your biggest win just recently. You haven't posted the video yet. I was hoping you could, if possible, tease what happened a little bit. Make sure everyone out there, make sure to check out the Great Slot Saver, and there's actually going to be a link in the description of this video that you can follow, and make sure to subscribe, and maybe you could tease that video. And then you mentioned there was another big win video that you could share more details about that had already been posted.
Okay. Well, so So as a low roller, I don't get many hand pays. I've only had one before, and it was at a casino I couldn't record at. So I recorded a snippet of the bonus, and that was a Mighty Cash double up machine. I had $40 in free play from Beau Rivage, 75-cent bets within like 5 minutes because I was only playing through the free play, and then I was leaving because they didn't have any machines I was interested in at that time. And I ended up getting a bonus, like a random luck has arrived type thing. And it gave me on that machine, I triggered the double up feature with the maxi jackpot. And that was like 800 or something.
Nice.
And so then it doubled up, but it didn't pay the 800 for each maxi on both screens. It reset to 500, but then it gave me a bunch more maxis.
Okay.
Because that machine, it totals up everything you triggered the bonus with. And then every time you get one of the gems, it gives you that same amount again. So that maxi win was included in there. So I ended up getting $3,500, which was nice.
Wow, a 75-cent bet.
And in my intro on my videos, you can see a little screenshot of that, but also in my shorts, there's a little clip of it paying me out. But that was my only hand pay up until this Vegas trip me and Anna went on 2 weeks ago. And first day, everything was great, mainly playing at MGM properties. And I was pleasantly surprised. We were up at the end of the first day, made about 11 days worth of videos. And second day though, first machine at Cosmo, we walk in. This video hasn't posted yet, but I think it's posting on the 5th of June.
Okay.
And so fourth spin in, 75-cent bet on an Aruze game. Can't remember what it's called. Something like Master Cash Blaster or something. It's a dynamite machine. Fourth spin in, it gave me the major, but I thought it was a hold-in spin where you needed 6 of the dynamites in order to get it. And apparently you didn't. I only had 5. And I was like, oh, if I had one more, I would have had the major. And then I was like, oh, wait, I did get the major. And so that was nice. It was almost $1,000, like $940 some dollars. And 2 hours later, the biggest win over at the Win, appropriately named. I won't say how much it necessarily was, but it was a grand jackpot on a dollar bet. So
amazing. Well, you know, it was more than 3,500, I guess.
Yes, definitely.
Congratulations. That's sick. It's always so nice to get the money and then also get a good video out of it too. So
yeah, I'm hoping it helps the channel. So everybody go watch it. It's actually coming out on June 18th, which is my 2-year anniversary date from when I restarted the channel. So an appropriate win for an anniversary.
I also noticed that you've got some sweet merch available on your website. 2-year anniversary graphic is really nice, and all the other stuff is really cool. So everybody can go check that out. There's some fun stuff there.
So I'm wearing one of the Show Me the Grand shirts, and that's my little logo character. But I actually started those by doing Show Me the Mini because I was recording a video, and you know, on Dancing Drums, you always get the mini when you get the progressive pick. And so I was just joking and saying, Show Me the Mini, kind of like a Jerry Maguire meme sort of thing. And I was like, oh, I should make a shirt. So I did the Show Me the Mini, the major, the minor, and I was like, I can't leave out the grand, even though it doesn't start with an M. But so definitely buy your Show Me the Grand shirt. It's going to bring you good luck, guys.
They're sweet. No, they're nice. You know, one topic that comes up with influencers often is, are their audience? And, you know, there's so much support from the slots playing audience and other influencers. What's the experience been like for you building an audience, like the real people to people relationships that come along with starting this kind of channel? You end up putting yourself out there a lot and you end up making real relationships with people. What's that been like for you? And what's the growth been like? And how does it fit into your, you know, what you enjoy doing on the channel?
So most of my building of those relationships came through the live streams with the slot machine behind me. There's a lot of people that, I won't say all of them, but there are a lot of people that are homebound for whatever reason, and they got a lot of time on their hands, so they watch a lot of YouTube. And then they're there every day, so you build these relationships. And other people are just like slots like me and just want to watch them. But so doing a live stream every day, I would have a same group of people every single day checking in, telling me their life stories, chatting with each other too, not just there for me and for the slot play, but it really does become like a community of people that you feel like you know. And they don't really get that from the regular daily videos that I post because you see a comment once in a while, but you don't really know who's watching. You don't have that same interaction with them. So it has been awesome. they're a little disappointed that I stopped the daily live streams, but I was like, I'll go a little longer when I do live stream that way to make up for it. And sometimes I'll catch them on other channels live streams as well. And but yeah, a lot of great people out there, and it is nice making those connections and meeting some of them at the casinos and getting. I've done some videos with some of my viewers, like some collaborations,
That's fun.
side by side videos, and so it's been fun.
What do you find people are most interested in asking you or learning from your channel? You know, from what you've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always in the live streams, everyone's question always is, "What's your biggest win?" And unfortunately, that's probably why my channel doesn't get many views on my daily videos because I'm a low roller. People want to see those explosive wins. I don't care what someone's betting because I look at the multiplier of their win and I'm like, oh, that machine paid them a 4,000x win. I'll go play that machine, see if I can get a 4,000x win. But yeah, that's always their top question. But other than that, I mean, people want to know what my life's like outside of playing slots, or when I'm coming to their area, or what my favorite slot is.
Do you think that influencers like you and other channels shape the way people think about gambling, or shape their behavior at all when it comes to the games they play, or the, you know, responsible gambling messages or anything else?
I don't. From my perspective of what I've experienced, it doesn't seem like it has much effect on that. I am a low roller. I am more of a responsible gambler. So I can't speak to the people that watch people like Vegas Matt or those other channels that bet really high. And those viewers may go in trying to win the same kind of big jackpots as that and lose their shirt. I don't know. But I found a lot of the people that watch my channel, they actually don't go and gamble. They like to watch it. They might go once a year and spend a little bit of money, but otherwise, and some of them have even had gambling issues, so they don't gamble anymore, but they want to watch people do it. So I find most of the viewers, it's more of just an entertainment thing for them to watch rather than them trying to figure out how they're going to go bet when they go to the casino.
Yeah, I mean, I think the responsible gambling messaging also has an effect on people, like in a positive way. So it's cool to, you know, and like we said, the level that you're playing at is way more relatable to a lot of people. So I think it does have an effect on the way people approach gambling.
It helps too that I show the full thing, so you can really see what I really won and really lost.
Yeah,
But
not all live streams make you want to play slots the way it goes sometimes.
yeah,
It's easier to watch someone else to take the beating.
it is tough. I mean, it's tough doing this kind of a channel anyway because you have a session and I'm spending money, so I'm going to use that video whether it was an exciting video or not. But when the machine does nothing for you, or you're doing a live stream and the machine does nothing for you, it's rough content wise. But I was like, I'm spending my time, I'm spending my money, so I'm using the content. I'm going to let everyone see the full picture.
I mean, it reflects reality more. So, I mean, people have fun. You know, that's kind of why like the lower volatility games are fun, because you can just get more play.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're expecting to win at all or a bunch, but just being able to play, especially in the live environment. And if you're in a place that comps drinks or something like that, like the social aspect of it can be really fun. Just to be able to, some games these days, it's like goes pretty fast at times.
Yeah, I can't win on almost any of the new Buffalo games, and I know other people do well on them, but I think certain games pay on certain bet levels better, and they don't like my bet level, I don't think.
Okay, I was Googling your channel name and some stuff. I found something on Amazon, and I don't know if this is a real thing or a joke thing, but it definitely piqued my interest. It was a trilogy of murder mysteries, slot influencer themed murder mysteries. Is that a real thing? It said it wasn't available for purchase.
So one of the things that I used to do in the past is I wrote fiction novellas. That actually was my full-time job for a while. And I put out probably like 50 novellas. And I made a good living for a little while on it until Amazon changed the algorithms where it made it harder for people to find you. But so I was like, let me incorporate that into my channel. So I put out 3 fiction novellas of me and Nana going to the casino, solving mysteries while we're filming for the YouTube channel. Obviously, those stories are all fiction. They did not happen. We did not solve mysteries. But yeah, I figured it was something cool just to put out and tie in that's a little more unique that no other channel has really done.
So it said on Amazon it wasn't available for purchase. It had like the Kindle, like the ebook or something, but where can you get it? Can
Yeah,
you still get it?
so they're only an electronic version right now because even when I used to write books before, people weren't buying paperbacks, so
Yeah.
I didn't bother putting them out in a physical form. But almost every bookstore has them now. Amazon, you have to pay for any of them. I think they're like $2.99 there. But on other bookstores, especially Barnes and Noble is one of the big ones, and Apple, I think the first book is free, so you can actually download that to whatever electronic device you use, or to your Barnes and Noble app, or Apple phone or tablet, and you can check out the first book for free.
So it's a 3-part series. The first one is something like the Emerald Gulf.
Yeah,
What's it called so people can
Murder at the
search for
Emerald
it?
Gulf, I believe.
Yes.
And they're individual books, so you don't have to read any one before the other. It's just 3 separate stories at 3 separate casinos.
I think a Netflix series is in order
Yeah.
for this. Yeah.
Well, if you got any connections, tell them.
I would watch it.
Yeah.
Speaking of trips, hopefully without any murder or mysteries that need to be solved, but you mentioned a bunch of different casinos. I saw some content from Tunica. Do you have any places that you would shout out as being particularly memorable, or your favorites?
So
places that you visit.
it is my furthest away casino, but it is Coushatta Casino in Kinder, Louisiana. I've met a lot of great YouTubers there, but also they do YouTuber events. They included me in a few last year, including the Beat the Slot Star, which I was the only YouTuber to win it. Every month they had a different YouTuber. Even Brian Christopher used to play there and film there, but and they get some of the newest games around. They're also the biggest land-based casino in Louisiana, so a lot of Texas people play there. So if you are in that area, check them out. I really like going to Biloxi, but the casinos I'm allowed to record at don't really have the selection I want. But Beau Rivage is supposed to start allowing recording for me soon, so
Okay.
that'll be nice. Tunica's great. There's an awesome marketing lady at the Hollywood Casino in Tunica, and she's so awesome. And then we get a film at some Wind Creek properties in Alabama. So those are my regular haunts, and like every month I try to alternate and go to visit one so that I don't leave anybody out. And
That's fun. I went to Tunica a few times. I used to be a poker reporter, and I'd go to the World Series of Poker circuit event there every year, and it was really fun. Nice group, nice people at those properties. And you mentioned that you also make trips to Vegas. You mentioned going your recent trip there. Do you have any favorite spots to either visit or record footage from in Las Vegas?
So I don't go often. I usually go about once a year. This time I went just to go to the Blueberry headquarters, which their machines are not in Vegas yet, but they will be by the end of the year. And I wanted to go to their showroom. I wanted to meet them in person because they've been great, sending me some swag and stuff, because the casinos in Alabama, I play a lot of their machines. But this time was the first and only time that I've ever played at MGM properties, and because we were staying at an MGM property, they allowed me to film. And so I was pleasantly surprised, not only in the quality of the casinos and the rooms themselves, but also the slot selection, the cleanliness of the place. So I really liked filming at MGM. Of course, me and Nana walked all the way to Resorts World one day, and then all the way back. It was like 26,000 steps that day. And if you haven't seen where those, we were staying at Excalibur, so map Excalibur to Resorts World. It's a long way, especially when you got to go up all those steps and escalators and bridges. But the Wynn and Venetian are always really nice to play at and film at. We used to only go to we'd stay at Caesar's properties, but we never played at them, unfortunately, because Nana's favorite game was The Wizard of Oz, and the only place that had it was Casino Royale. So we just go to Casino Royale, sit there all day long. But they took that machine out right after COVID, or during COVID, so that used to be our haunt. But
that's fun. Yeah, even when things might not look super far away in Vegas, but it takes so long to walk even to like the adjacent property.
Yeah. Just to get from the front door to your hotel room sometimes could be 2 miles. But
MGM Grand's pretty big that way. It takes a while to walk around that place. I was going to ask you, you spend so much time in all these great casinos that you've mentioned. A common theme that comes up in these interviews are casino tips for people. And I know there's a lot of people who are, might not be spending all the money in the world, like coin in wise, but would still be interested in potentially getting comps or getting invited back for a stay. Do you have any tips for people from your perspective about ways to maximize that value, or even like have the most fun, or anything that people might not know that they could actually use?
Yeah, so I tell people, especially at the casino party events that I do here, we get a lot of people who have never been to a casino before, but then they're like, oh, we need to go to Vegas, like not just for the gambling, but for the shows and stuff too. And I'm like, go to North Carolina. It's 3 hours away. It's a Caesars property. Get a Players Club card. Then you can get some free rooms in Vegas. So if you guys have, Caesars has probably the most properties in the United States where they're different locations. So if you guys have one of their properties near you, get a Players Club card, even if you're not going to gamble much. That way, if you do want to go visit Vegas or any of the other places where they have Caesar properties, you're more likely to get some free rooms just right off the bat, especially on weekdays, because they want you to come in. They want you to spend your money at their casinos versus other properties. But other than that, Big Slaughter said it too, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, but your comps do matter with how much you've played each day. So when you are staying multiple days or even just overnight at a property, if you're not going to be playing a full day, don't use your Players Club card. Only use it on the day you're playing fully, because that's going to maximize your comps. You don't want them averaging a 2-day play when you only played $100 the second day, but you played $1,200 the first day. And it's just going to slash your comps. So if you're just waking up and you're going to be leaving, play without your Players Club card the second day or the last day. Besides that, my biggest tip to tell people is if you are not winning on a machine right off the bat, like within 10 minutes maybe, switch to another machine or switch denoms. Because a lot of people, unless they're in the slot industry, they don't know that the payout percentages are set per denomination. So it's like you're playing a whole separate machine. So I'm a low roller. I can't switch denominations because the bet will be too high. But if you're not winning on pennies, go to the 2-cent denom, because it'll have a whole nother payout that may be ready to hit for you. Or just play the machines side by side.
Yeah, not to mention just interrupting your losing session is going to probably save you some money in the meantime.
And obviously, if you're losing too much, just go take a walk, especially if you're in Vegas. Go people watch, then go play some more.
Yeah, no, that tip from Big Slaughter that you just reiterated is really smart, and I hadn't heard it before he said it. And he mentioned that there's like a gaming day, like the 24-hour period, something like 6 a.m. So as you know, you can play all through the night. Don't put in $20 on your way out of the casino with your card the following day, gaming day. That makes a lot of sense. And, what do you think, if you mentioned go to your local property, get a player's card, it could earn you an offer for a free stay, like a free night or nights in Vegas? How much money would people expect to gamble with, or to take to a casino to expect to get an offer like that if they were to go for an evening, or how many evenings would it take, do you think?
I don't even think, now back in the day, and I don't know if they still do this, but back in the day on the Caesars app, you used to be able to put in a second person's Players Club number when you were trying to book a room, and they would take both of you into consideration. If you're sharing the room, now you both have to be there at check-in to show your ID. I don't know if they still do that, but I don't think you would have to play very much at a Caesars property if you're going to Vegas and you're trying to look on a weekday stay. Most of the time I've been pretty lucky because they have 7 or 8 casinos in Vegas, and there's so many rooms that most of the time probably are not sold out. So, I mean, you play 100 and you don't even have to take 100, but you might cycle through 300 or 400 through the machine because you're winning stuff. So I don't think you have to play a ton, but another tip, if you guys are cruisers out there, go on a cruise like Carnival or even some of the other ones like Royal Caribbean, but play like $30 a day in the casino. When it comes wintertime, they're going to start sending you offers for a free cruise just because they want you to come in and buy some alcohol and gamble. And so you can save a $1,600 cruise just by gambling $30 a day on a 7-day cruise that you're already taking. So yeah, there's lots of ways to definitely save money if you want to vacation.
Always use your player's card for sure. I'm curious, where do you think this is all going? It sounds like you just have so much fun. It sounds like really quality time that you get to spend with your sidekick Nana. And it sounds like your road trips and the experience and, the fact that maybe this channel is making it possible to do something that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. And same goes for Nana. Is this, are you committed to keeping this going? Do you have any aspirations of where you want to take this? Do you have any insights on where you think the space is going. You've been observing it and participating in it for a while now.
Yeah, well, first of all, Nana gets fired almost daily when we go on trips, but I always have a heart of gold and I rehire her. But I even have some of my viewers on the live streams have created a union, and they say that Nana can't be fired, and they tell her to reach out to them if she needs them. But yeah, this year has been tough, not just for me and my channel, but for a lot of YouTubers and in this space. And I found a lot of people are thinking of abandoning their channel, which is sad because it's getting tougher and tougher to get views. It's getting tougher and tougher to get any money from the ad revenue. And it's becoming a very overpopulated space, I think. Which is sad. I wish I would have continued on 14, 15 years ago. But I told myself, I was like, I'm going to finish out the year and try to cut back on the live streams because I just didn't have time, but still put up my daily videos, see where we go in the future. I want to go to G2E this year, the first time ever. So I'm going back to Vegas in October. If anyone's in Vegas or will be in Vegas, then hit me up. My email address is under all my videos. But and maybe we can meet up and do a video. But I'm trying to give it this full year. And of course, I hit that biggest jackpot ever of my channel. So that's nice that I didn't give up. But I think so many casinos are now being open to using youth influencers, which is nice. It's opening up doors of where you can record, what you can do. And places like Kushada doing actual YouTuber events for even small channels like my own. But of course, there are places like in Reno. Peppermill does a lot of events with the big dogs. But I'm just a little dog in the park. So it's nice that doors are opening and the casinos are seeing what free advertising they can get just by dealing with some YouTubers a little bit. And so who knows where the space is going, but it does look like it's getting up there. The problem is it's just getting so oversaturated.
Yeah.
But there are people dropping out all the time. So anyone who perseveres and stays with it, probably will see success. And I think that's the key to life in general. If you have a passion for something and you don't give up, you're going to succeed.
Yeah, I mean, it helps if you're having fun while you're doing it. And it sounds like you guys sure are.
Yeah, it's an expensive space to be in, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'd be spending the money either way, so might as well record it.
I think that's the key to YouTube channels is like if you're doing it already, you can maybe it's like another loyalty program you can be part of to get some of your money back and have maybe open up some other doors. On that note, I'm curious if you have any insights into what could casino marketing people and departments be considering? Like you said, a lot of people are coming around to just letting influencers in the door and getting some free publicity. But I think the opportunity goes way beyond that when it comes to marketing and communicating to slots players in the US. Do you have any insights on what that opportunity looks like, or what you would say to a casino that maybe is on the fence about exploring this space more?
Yeah, so one of the things Kushada does, besides that slot tournament thing, which had a different YouTuber every month, they were doing slot scavenger hunts, and they would have anywhere from 4 to like 12 influencer teams where people would put in for a drawing, customers in the casino, they get put on a YouTuber's team, and then every YouTuber is live streaming the event as they scour around the casino playing different games that were on a scavenger hunt list at the casino's expense. They got a free play card, and then whatever team won the most collectively, every person on that team would win a big prize, as well as get to keep their winnings. And so things like that were awesome because all different teams to different audiences are live streaming that casino and what that casino is doing. That helps. But otherwise, just meet and greet events would be nice. If a lot of casinos would just invite some YouTubers to do a meet and greet, like 5-10 different YouTubers that maybe play at their casino. And I think people would come out just to take some pictures, meet the influencers, maybe do a video with them. And so there's a lot of ways the casino can do things without spending a ton of money. And that'll be a little more unique and offer them a little edge over maybe their neighboring casino.
What do you think? What do you think slots players would like to do the most at those meet and greet events? Because I know there's been lots of iterations of different versions of what that looks like. In your experience, what do people have the most fun doing, and what would actually bring them out? Do you think in bigger numbers to come, not only meet an influencer, but maybe some activities or something that's gives the event some structure?
People seem to love group polls for sure. People seem to love group polls. I have participated in some, but I've never done any for my channel because all my people live in places that I don't play at, so I don't have enough people coming out to see me that I actually just got recognized for the first time a few weeks ago, and it was kind of cool for someone that didn't even know who I was. Like they just watched the channel but never left a comment. I didn't know them, and they're like, "Oh, you're the Great Slot Saver," and I wasn't even wearing my merch where they could see, and either was
That's
Nana. They're
cool.
like, "Oh, and you're Nana," and so that was cool. But I think people would love group polls. I think they just like taking pictures with the YouTubers too. But the group poll allows them to be in a video, which is nice, and you don't have to just do one-on-one events, which probably would take a little too much time. So I think that's one of the big things people would like. It's just a group poll, maybe even a dinner. Like people could like the VIPs or people that play or even get entered into a contest could get like a dinner with all the YouTubers and where they can spend a little more time asking you questions, talking to you one-on-one, and
Lots of creative opportunities for creative promotions and activities that ultimately help bring more people in and get them excited about playing in the casino. It's a really cool opportunity. Do you have any funny stories from the casino? And I imagine that you and Nana spending, you mentioned her sitting there for 17 hours at a time. You must have seen some funny stuff. Does anything
yeah,
come to mind?
so obviously I'm perfect. I never make mistakes in the casino, but don't ask Nana about that though. But Nana, so one of the times that I found the most funny, and the people that watch my live streams have already heard this story, but for those of you new to my channel, so we used to go to Harris Cherokee in North Carolina, and we would only earn like $2 in comps or something while we played. It wasn't much, so they had a little ice cream shop in a single serve ice cream cone, and they would actually stack two servings, two scoops on there. But it was only like $1.60 or something, which is unbelievable for a casino. But so we would get ice cream, and so me and Anna are playing Invaders from Planet Moolah one day, and we're eating our ice creams, and I look over at her, and I realized her chocolate ice cream is dripping all the way down her arm into her purse. And it's been doing that for like 20 minutes. And so I'm like, Nana, what are you doing? Like your ice cream is dripping all the way down your arm. And she's like, oh. And so she throws it in the trash and she decides to go wash her hands. But I look around the corner, she's washing her hands in the self-serve drink fountain machine. And she pressed the little water button and just rinsing her hands. And I'm like, we're going to get kicked out, Nana. Oh. And unfortunately,
Sounds
she's done
very
other
charming.
incidents like that before. So you can't take Nana anywhere, and people wonder why I fire her. But I will say, while I'm talking though, there's so sometimes people ask me, why did you name yourself the Great Slot Saver? And other than me just being the best at winning on slots, Nana, back in the day, she wanted to create something when we used to play slots that would hold your machine. So we created a little sign that was called the Great Slot Saver that you could hang on the little light at the top, and it would cover over the machine, and it was called the Slot Saver. I added the great part, and unfortunately, the Gaming Commission did not allow that to be used. So it never went anywhere. But when I did decide to restart my channel, I was like, hey, I'll go with our invention. I'll use that as part of my name. So
Yeah, I don't think the casino would appreciate it
we
very much.
didn't know. We
I
were
thought
newbies.
I thought it meant that you could always save a losing session or something like
Yeah.
that. Maybe
They
that
didn't
could
like
be a
anything
saver.
covering up the machine because it's not viewable to the cameras anymore that are recording it. But
They probably want people to use it and for you not to like save your spot at the machine. Unfortunately,
nowadays, casinos let you save your machine at certain casinos just electronically, and
like if you want to get up and go to the
And
bathroom or
it's rough
something.
when you're by yourself. Like if
Okay.
you have someone else with you, I'll save Nana's machine all the time while she goes to the restroom or goes in and gets a drink from the self-serve station. But if you're by yourself, it's tough. You run out of money, you got to go cash in a ticket or whatever. It's nice that there are
Right.
options now.
What do you have coming up? You said that you just hit Vegas. Do you have any other plans for? I want to remind everyone again to keep an eye out for that your biggest win video yet coming up in a couple weeks. But what's your next trip to get your next month's worth of
So my
content?
next trip is in about a month. It's actually 4 weeks from today. I'm going to Coushatta Casino on the 23rd and 24th of June with Nana. Nana will be there. And then I think I'm going to hit Tunic Up in July. And of course, October back for G2E. Nana won't be there with me though, just me. But yeah, it's just usually I take it month by month. I love doing and I know you've had him, I believe, on your show before, Josh from Slotaholic, and he does all these challenge type videos and different games, and I've created a few myself. I did a Slot Z, which is like a take on Yahtzee while
Oh,
playing
nice.
slots. He actually created the name. One of my viewers created the game, and I did do it with him as well as other people. So I like doing stuff like that. I find it doesn't get the views that it deserves. So if you guys want to check out those videos, definitely hit the collaborations playlist on my channel. But yeah, I really enjoy doing those kind of things. Like he does slot golf on his channel. And I find it makes a casino trip more fun when you add another challenge element to your gameplay.
Yeah, that's really cool. You mentioned that you're also friends with Dustin from Cajun Slots. It seems like there's a community of influencers kind of down in that part of the country, and it seems like Kushada is a real like headquarters, and they've kind of latched on to, or they've leaned into this influencer marketing opportunity, maybe more than others.
Yeah, Joel from marketing. Shout out to Joel. He is awesome, and he's been with the company for so long. But yeah, I love the YouTuber events. My YouTuber bestie Mo Gamble. Shout out to her. She's an Alabama gal, and so we did a video in Wind Creek where they actually had an emergency evacuation during our video. We were the only ones allowed to keep playing because we were on a bonus, and they wouldn't let us cash out because you can't cash out till the bonus is over. And it kept re-triggering and re-triggering and re-triggering until all the people were finally let back into the casino. But and that was the first day I met her. She was awesome. But there are so many great people that mainly I met through Kushada. I'm an introvert. So I'm have social anxieties. I have issues, and so it's a lot harder for me to be outgoing with people and get to know people. But there have been a lot of really friendly people in the space. Shout out to Tim, the Big Payback. He was awesome. Met him in Vegas. And Josh from Slotaholic did a video with me when I hadn't even met him in person yet. We just did a 2-part video separately, and so he helped give my channel some traction. And so yeah, the connections you make are awesome.
That's so cool. I've had a chance to work a bit with Tim and Josh and can vouch for how great they both are. You know, I think a lot of people can relate to some extent with social anxiety. How was that like for making a YouTube channel? I mean, I think even for anybody, it's there's some anxiety around putting yourself out there on YouTube. What was that like for you?
Yeah, well, because I'm older, I don't think I was ever diagnosed, but I do believe I'm autistic, highly functioning. But so when I'm in work mode, I can function and I can talk to people. But otherwise, I have a serious phobia of talking to people. I have a phobia of phone calls. So only when I'm in work mode can I kind of function. When I'm not, so if I go on a cruise, I won't talk to a single person the whole time I'm on a cruise. Like it's just the way I am. I don't know if it's fear of rejection or what, and overthinking what I'm saying and sounding stupid or what. But at a casino, I film. I'm okay talking to the camera. I'm okay talking to people on live streams, but I'm just not outgoing. Someone's sitting next to me, and unless they talk to me first, I don't say anything to them. I don't congratulate them on their wins, and I don't try to be rude. It's just I just have that phobia of and social anxiety, and so I think that's probably held my channel back a little bit too, because people can sense your vibes from you. The machines can sense your vibes too sometimes. Like if I try to bet higher, which I'm not comfortable with, I can't ever win anything. The machine knows I'm not comfortable. They know I'm
Keeping you honest.
anxious. But so it hasn't been super of an effect in my YouTube channel because I'm mainly talking to my phone. But it is something to overcome for sure. And as I get more popular and people come up to me in person, I think that will definitely help me overcome some of those social anxieties.
It sounds like a really interesting process of opening up on YouTube and making connections with people through this shared interest in slots. And it's just looking at your channel, you guys do something that's different and unique, you know, with you and Nana. And I think you must appeal to a group of people. And it's really interesting to hear how that's kind of played into your own personal experience with it. I think most people are terrified of making a YouTube channel. So congratulations on putting yourself out there, especially maybe it not being the most comfortable thing for you.
Yeah. For a while, I wasn't even showing me or Nana. It was just like show the machine and I would talk. And because otherwise it'd be too boring. But plus you got to drown out the music so you don't get the copyright strikes. But speaking of unique, though, another unique thing that I got in the works, which I just remembered now. So I got the fiction novellas, but for a little while, just for fun, I used to create board games and card games, my own card games, my own board games. And so I am creating one for my YouTube channel as well. So people can buy their own Great Slot Saber card game and unique rules and stuff. And it kind of adds that sort of bonusing on the machine aspect into it. And so
That's cool.
I'm a very creative person. I like to do creative stuff. And so anytime I
Is
can.
that coming out yet to come out, or can people check that out now?
It's still in the design process now, but probably by the end of the year, it'll definitely be out, and it'll be on my store tab. So if people do follow me, and just obviously I'll be talking about it in live streams once it does hit and stuff. But
Slot board game is genius. That's really, it could be really fun.
so especially for those people that don't necessarily want to go out to the casino, or they would rather spend $20 on a game than spend $300 in the casino, and still have a night of fun. But
They can do both if they want to.
they can do both.
Yeah.
They can play the game in their room once they're broke, and stay downstairs in the casino when they're not broke.
No, that's so fun. Jimmy, we appreciate you coming on the show so much, and it's been awesome to learn more about you and your channel. And we hope you'll give all of the SlotsFan team and audience's regards to Nana, and wish her and you the best of luck on the channel, also in the casino and in general. Is there anything else that you want to plug or mention before we wrap up this interview?
No, I think I'm good. I appreciate you guys having me for sure. It was definitely like I said, a lot of people don't know my channel, so it was nice to get contacted by you guys and get a chance to expose myself to some. Probably didn't say that right, but to some bigger audiences.
You're not the first person to say exactly that, and it sounds weird when you say expose myself. Yeah. No, we so appreciate it. It's one of the cool things about on SlotsFan, we've got over 300 channels ranked on a kind of a database that tracks all the channels and stuff. But it's just so cool to see the diversity of kinds of people, geographically, kinds of games, all these different things that, seem to reflect different parts of the slots playing community in the US. And we're so appreciative of you spending the time, and we hope people will use the link in our description to check out your channel, and we'll promote it as much as we can. And we look forward to checking in with you again, and hopefully we can say hi in person in October in Las Vegas. I'm sure I'll be down there.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Have a great day.
All right, you guys too.